Attention. Welcome to the Pathfinder Guru podcast, and thank you very much for having me. It has been a while without talking, without communicating, but I'm glad that we are all safe under the shadow of God's wonderful, 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 wonderful wings. It's been a minute, it's been a while, but we are back. I had a lot of things to do in the ministry this year with new positions, new appointments, and a lot of things that has been happening. But I thank the Lord for being there and showing that all things go according to His will. Thank you very much for those who have been watching the previous podcast, who have been listening. I've been seeing that on the stats and everything. May the good Lord be with you, protect you, and guide you. In today's episode, I want us to talk about a very important topic, a very topic that is close to my heart as we are reaching the end of the year. The question is, are we ready for the next year? Are we ready for the transitions that are happening between our Pathfinders, with our ambassadors, with the new leadership roles that have opened up? Leaders have served for quite some time, and now it is time for you maybe to take upon this new journey, to take upon this new baton. The question is, are you ready? A lot of things have been happening. I went live, I think yesterday, depending on where you're listening to this one. And something really happened, and I just decided to go live and talk to young people, to talk to leaders about a very important thing. Are elections still led by God, or they are now filled with politics? Ask yourself this question. Whenever elections are coming, whether it's in your local church, in your particular conference, the first thing that we do as leaders or as people within the nominating committees, within the committees that we serve under, the thing that we ask ourselves is not, God help us as we elect. We are thinking about our own things, thinking about a person that can come in and work for our benefit and not for the benefit of the Lord. Think about it. We sit down, we caucus only because we want somebody that is there to serve our interest. Nothing more, nothing less. But the thing is, have we actually considered God in this? Have we ever asked for the Holy Spirit to intervene and come in so that we may create leaders that are ready to lead this church? Most of the time, even at the local church, when we talk about Pathfinder, what happens also that is very much painful, that I want to talk about the ministries when we're electing directors at the local church. We are actually sabotaging the clubs that we are in, because we are able to pick elders. We're able to pick people who are going to be in the women ministry and all these ministries. Then at the end, when we are tired, when we do not want to hear anything, then a question will arise. Who is our next director? Who is our next deputy director? Which is something that is alarming. We claim to be people that care about the children. We read the Bible that talks about it, showing that God puts children closer to Him. But when we elect, when we choose leaders to lead these young people, it is an afterthought more than a thought that we think about. That's at the local church. But when you go at district level, conference level, the mindset changes. We actually care about who comes in, but the only thing that we care about is, does this person serve our interest? Not does this person is coming to serve God. So meaning that at a local church, we are really not bothered. But when we go higher up, we care about our interest. Two things which are really painful that are happening within this ministry that we called to lead, that we are called to do what we are supposed to be doing. Why has this been happening? It's because we are now in a time where people are, number one, all about positions. Number two, just don't care about the duties that come with the position, but they only feel the positions. At the local church, we are doing an injustice when we are picking people just because they are able to command the club, but we forget that Being a director of a Pathfinder club, it is about running the administration of the club, ensuring that each and everything, the programs are running, instructors are teaching the achievement classes, and all those beautiful things that should be happening end up not happening, meaning that we do not have a transitional plan and it becomes a frustration. Where are we going as a ministry? Where are we going as a church? Because it is clear enough that both locally and other positions, whether it's area coordinators and positions that are outside of the local church, but within the same department, we just don't care. We are not bothered. We are doing those things just for the sake of doing it. And the question lies is that when we do not ensure that children are safe under the shadow of God's wonderful wings, the world is ready and prepared to snatch them away from us and entertain them to what they want them to do. But when we are serious, when we are intentional in our pickings, in our elections, asking God's intervention more than our own knowledge, we create a path that is stronger. We create leaders that lead with intention and purpose, following their constitution, following their Pathfinder administration manual to the T, because they are there for a particular reason. And I'm saying this because we are at a point where it is elections both at local church and other higher structure bodies. And the question that we need to ask ourselves is, can this person lead our children to God? Can this person enforce the things that he needs to enforce? Pray as a leader and ask God for his guidance. We are electing leaders that are not even close to God, that are not even bringing their relationship to God. Remember, as a leader, you need to be closer to God more than anyone. I know this by myself, because as much as you are serving God, you need to always drink from the living water. Quench your thirst. Because once you are preparing things for others and not reflecting on them, you are the same as a preacher that preaches to people but does not live by the sermons that the preacher is preaching. And that is what I'm here to bring to you today, to say, are we leaders that lead with intention, that ask God for intervention, or we are just leading because we have constitutions, we have protocols in place? There's a difference between a person that leads in the church of God and leads outside of it. When you lead in the church of God, in anything that you do, whether it's a policy that you're implementing, whether it's a church manual that you're implementing, you always ask for God in heaven to guide you as you do those things. But we are in a time whereby those things do not happen. Leaders are being elected, but they do not understand their roles and what they need to do. It is so frustrating to have people, they do not have children's intentions in heart, but they have their own agendas, to a point whereby even when they lead, they do not consult God, but they trust themselves in their leadership, in their policies. They trust themselves so much that they do not ask for God's intervention. Painful and stressful this is. And I'm here to do this episode because we are at a time where we are electing. We are at a time where we are asking people to become leaders in the church. But the question is, are they ready to take upon the baton, honestly, with passion, driving them, not any other agenda, but the agenda of God to ensure that children are safe? I always say this in my podcast, that children are safe under the shadow of God's wonderful wings. That is the questions that we need to ask ourselves today. Those are things, heart-burning things that we need to ask ourselves as leaders. So as you are going to sit in that nominating committee, as you are going to take upon that leadership role, as you are being nominated and you get a call from your pastor, get a call from the youth director to say you have been appointed to take upon this role, before you take upon the role, before you elect that particular person, ask yourself, is this person able to even carry the mandate of God? And if that person is not able to do that, then is a problem. We are not saying people are perfect, but we are saying, is this person able to carry this mandate? As you think about this, I pray that God be with you and God blesses you, so that when all is said and done, all honor and glory may go to him. But for now, you are dismissed.